Hello and welcome to TA for Traders. It's Friday the 13th of October. In this short video, I'm going to look at the sentiment and money flow in the markets over the last week. What we'll see, it's been a mixed picture in most asset classes. The dollar has drifted. Yields, apart from in the UK where yields have gone up, elsewhere they've gone down. UK's been affected by the non-progress on the Brexit talks, but the pound's been strong against the dollar, weak against the euro. Equity markets, UK actually has moved to a new high. Elsewhere there's been actually a sideways move. In commodities, there has been some good moves. Gold's moved better, oil's moved a bit better, and Bitcoin has certainly broken into new high ground. Let's go through the charts and let's just analyze what's happened over the week. So here we're looking at the daily. All the charts I'm showing you in this video are all daily charts. So each candle represents 1 day's trade. This is US government bond 30-year yield. You can see it's drifting off, hit resistance at the 200-day moving average and has rolled off, now finding support at the 20-day. Lost a bit of its momentum, but there is still some positive momentum as it's above 50. On the German 10-year yield, again it's drifted off through the week. Did find support at the 50, but that 50 is moving down, so if we go below there that could push it lower. Looks to me like the 20 is rolling down, so that there could be some downside pressure on this, and the RSI as well is indicative of negative momentum as it moves back below 50, and the MACD short term has now moved below the long term. In the UK, here we're looking at the price on the gilt, so the reverse of the yield. You can see it pushing into new low ground, being pushed by the 20-day moving average. The 50 and the 200 are now both moving down as well, and really this gilt price does look vulnerable to further downside. There's negative momentum on both the RSI and MACD, so it does look like yields in the UK will move higher. Moving on to currencies, this is the dollar index, and you can see it's come back to the support of the 20 and 50-day moving average. That should give support over the next week, but the negative momentum has increased through the week. RSI did go back below 50, and the MACD starting to shout nearly a sell. The short term is below the long term, but the long term still moving up. If that can roll down as well and they both move down, that would be a sell signal. Be aware of that. Euro against the US dollar, I've done a video on that today, a longer video. Please look at that. You can see on here that we've got the trouble. We had a bearish cross on the 20 crossing the 50, and it looks like they could push the euro lower on this chart. The pound against the dollar has had actually a reasonable week, quite surprising given the Brexit talks. It just shows you dollar weakness. We're now up against the resistance of the downtrending 20-day moving average, but RSI has increased above 50, 51.34. And the euro and the pound, here we're kind of tracking between the uptrend in 20 and the downtrend in 50 moving averages, and it looks like we're going to get a pincer formation around there. There's no momentum. The RSI is at 49. Okay, moving on to equity indices. The S&P has just moved sideways, still positive momentum present. Is there a potential non-confirmation on there? We'll have to wait and see. I think a down day would confirm that, so be aware of that. And the MACD as well have moved together, so just be aware of a slight warning sign coming out of the RSI. On the Nasdaq, here we did move to a new high and the RSI moved to a high, so there's no non-confirmation. But overall, it just looks like we're letting the moving averages catch up somewhat, but consolidating sideways. On the Euro stocks, again, I've done a video of that today. Please look at that. It looks like a flag. Just wait for the next break, which should be to the upside. And finally, on the indices, this is the FTSE, did move to a new high, which was very good. As you can see, it broke through this downtrend line and then found support at it before moving ahead. We're just getting a golden cross on the 20 and the 50. We did get a golden cross as the 20 crossed the 200. So those moving averages are moving very well. Any consolidation would be short-lived, and it does look like further upside given the movement on the RSI and the MACD. Okay, moving into the commodities. This is the WTI crude, moved back above 50. You can see it's gone back above the 20-day moving average. Do remember there's this long line of resistance up at the 54 level, so we're just at the top of this long range barrier. I'll show the weekly. So here we have the weekly, and as I've said on a few videos, we need to break through that 55 level for a confirmation of a break in this sideways move. We're just towards the upper boundary. But at the moment it's not indicative it's going to break through. On gold, again a good week. If we could get above the 50-day moving average, 1298.3, that would be good. That could then give a push up through the 1300. 1300 itself is a key big number and resistance level that needs to be broken. RSI is indicating positive momentum is coming back, 51.05, and likewise the MACD short term has moved above the long term, but they're both still below zero, but there is signs of positive momentum coming back. Copper, I've done a video on that today. Does look good, potential double tops and needs to break through. But over the early days of next week, we will get a golden cross on the 20 and the 50, and there is positive momentum. Finally, looking at one commodity or currency that has had an amazing run this week, and that's Bitcoin. I did a video on that earlier in the week. Please do look at it. We've now confirmed we're not having a double top. We've had a bullish cross, a golden cross as the 20s crossed the 50. Perhaps we're slightly overextended away from the 20 and the 50, but there's nothing unusual in that on this chart. But I would just be aware that we are slightly overextended, and you can see back in August when we had a similar picture, it went on for 4 days. We've had 3 days already, so be aware of that. It won't continue for another week. I would expect some consolidation, but that picture technically does look good. Very positive momentum and a golden cross there created on the moving averages. Many thanks for watching this video. I know it's quick and ready and a bit rough around the edges, but it just gives an overview of what's happening in the market, sentiment and money flow wise. As we've seen this week, the key money flows have been into commodities and obviously into Bitcoin. Equities have been moving sideways. Yields looks like they're going to go up in the UK, but elsewhere they're drifting. And on currencies, a mixed picture. Dollar weakness, but it's back at support. Thanks for watching. Please remember these videos are my opinions and they're not an investment recommendation. Please read the disclaimer.